Hi all, hope you are doing well. I will cover about the second part of the cultivation levels in Renegade Immortal this time. Please make sure that you have watched the first part before this video so that you can have a complete understanding of this universe. In the first part we have stopped at the Ascendant stage. The Ascendant stage is a peak. Going beyond this will increase the lifespan of a cultivator significant to allow them to live for at least tens of thousands of years, and the chance to escape from cycle of reincarnation is much easier for low-level cultivators if they have a powerful cultivator to help, since this cycle of reincarnation strength increases proportionally to a cultivator's power level. To an ascendant cultivator, origin soul and origin energy are fused into one, and if they excessively use origin energy, their cultivation could regress. One thing to note is going forward with the higher levels in the second step, both origin energy and domain need to be promoted to the next level for one cultivator to promote to the next level. If only origin energy is promoted and domain is still not comprehended properly, it is not considered as promoting to the next level. Two transitional stages between first step and second step are yin-yang cleansing stages. The yin-yang cleansing stages involve a change in domains. It's not the same as it going from non-corporeal to corporeal, but a deeper understanding. If one can't step into the yin and yang stage and break past the first step, they can't live for 5,000 years. 8. Illusory yin. Illusory yin is the first of the two sub-stages after Ascendant stage. In this stage there's a notable change in the origin soul into a real origin soul by the definition of celestials that can devour origin energy and gain new life from it. 9. Corporeal Yang. Corporeal Yang is the second of the two sub-stages after the Ascendant stage. At this stage all the celestial spiritual energy dissipates and becomes replaced by origin energy. What is an origin soul? If one's cultivation hasn't reached the illusory yin stage and goes through this important process, the so-called origin soul is, in fact, fake. A real origin soul can devour origin energy and gain new life from origin energy. The ancient cultivators cultivated qi. This qi was origin energy. Once this origin energy has been cultivated long enough, it will form the origin soul. The cultivators now had this step backwards. Only by reaching the second step could the cultivators nowadays catch up to the ancient cultivators. The illusory yin and corporeal yang stages were the transition between the first and second step of cultivation. This was meant to be a perfect balance of yin and yang. The illusory yin stage was the change in the origin soul, while the corporeal yang stage was all the celestial spiritual energy dissipating and being replaced by origin energy. This process was called origin transformation. It was to change a cultivator into an existence like ancient cultivators. After the ancient cultivators disappeared and the celestial realm collapsed, very few people have broken through two realms when entering the yin and yang stage, but all those that did had amazing achievements afterward and stood at the peak of the second step. Second step. The purpose of this step is nirvana, and with each level increase, the natural law can be seen more clearly. Therefore, at the end of this step the probability of forming one's own Tao essence to break through to the third step is high. Imagine a world where power comes with a side of philosophical enlightenment. That's the second step in a nutshell. Here, brute force takes a back seat to understanding the Tao, the natural laws that govern everything. Each level pushes you closer to nirvana, a state of perfect understanding and oneness with the universe. Second step is the bridge between the words cultivate and Tao. When completely moving the soul from the word cultivate to the word Tao, the key here is this second step. The battle between second step cultivators can devastate a cultivation planet. 10. Nirvana Scryer. This is where you first start peeking behind the curtain of the Tao. You gain the ability to perceive natural laws and their subtle workings. Think of it like Neo seeing the Matrix code for the first time. At this level one can start upon the road to comprehend natural law. A Nirvana Scryer can cross 5 kilometers in an instant. Those who are particularly talented will gain the ability to do a spatial bending as early as this level, effectively giving them true teleportation and the ability to hide themselves in the void. A key point of this second cultivation level is, aside from origin energy, is the comprehension, control and manipulation of the laws, and merging with the world is a pathway to explore that. Furthermore, merging with the world can allow his physical body to dissipate and reform somewhere else. And it is not that second step cultivators can change reality, but rather they acquire the ability to temporarily boost physical offensive and defensive stats. This level has 4 sub-categories, which are early, mid, late and peak Nirvana Scryer. It is very hard to promote between each level as it needs both origin energy as well as domain to each the next step. Few cultivators take thousands of years to move between each step. An early-stage Nirvana Scryer uses several celestial spells to empower his divine sense to sweep and summon many disasters upon planet Suzaku. He could kill all mortals on the planet had he wished to, however, he can still subjugate the majority of cultivators on the planet. The self-destruction of a Nirvana Scryer cultivator can collapse planet Suzaku, leaving very few to survive and cause unimaginable damage to the cultivation planet crystal. A reminder: the said cultivator has lost their body, and their origin soul is weakened. To reach the Nirvana Cleanser stage, one must completely master one of the laws. Then they can use this law to absorb origin energy from the world and make it so the origin energy in their body never runs out. For example, Power of Thunder is a law. 11. Nirvana Cleanser. As your understanding deepens, you learn to manipulate these laws. Imagine bending reality with your mind. After comprehension of one's law reaches a certain extent, they will be able to break through. In this realm, one will be able to control natural law. They are also able to open a space that functions like a bag of holding but is locked by the cultivator instead of able to be robbed like normal bags. In addition to controlling laws, the other ability Nirvana Cleanser cultivators had was to extract origin energy from the world. With the ability to extract origin energy from the world, they didn't have to be afraid of wasting origin energy and could use spells at any time. This effectively makes them eternal because they can constantly borrow power from heaven and earth. This level has 4 sub-categories, which are early, mid, late and peak Nirvana Cleanser. It is very hard to promote between each level as it needs both origin energy as well as domain to each the next step. Few cultivators take thousands of years to move between each step. Nirvana Cleanser cultivators are powerful for their ability to control the laws and the ability to extract origin energy from the world. This guarantees them an endless supply of origin energy, so they are not afraid to waste origin energy and use their spells at any time they want. The ability to absorb and condense origin energy and enhance their spells via power of laws are major factors for cultivators of Nirvana Cleanser stage being much stronger than cultivators of Nirvana Scryer stage. The so-called change was a qualitative change by absorbing origin energy and then compressing it repeatedly until it changed into a mysterious power that Nirvana Cleanser cultivators called the power of law. There are laws within everything of this world, and to comprehend them all would consume too much time as it is impossible to grasp all laws. Hence, Nirvana Cleanser stage and Nirvana Shatterer stage cultivators often have a law they are proficient in, and the strength of a Nirvana Cleanser cultivator is related to the law they choose, and mastering the law would allow them to absorb origin energy ceaselessly. The strength of Nirvana Cleanser cultivators is greatly related to the law they choose. Reaching to higher levels of Nirvana Cleanser requires an increase in domain and the ability to control the laws of the world, with late-stage Nirvana Cleanser requires the fusion of a cultivator's domain and law to reach to the Nirvana Shatterer stage. 12. Nirvana Shatterer. The Nirvana Shatterer stage is technically the peak of the second step, with Heaven's Blight being a part of it. After gaining a proper grasp of law, a cultivator will reach Nirvana Shatterer. The union of 35 Nirvana Shatter cultivators can destroy the Shattered Rain celestial realm instantly. By this stage, cultivators would have cracked the code on a specific natural law. Not only can they control it, but they can also condense their understanding into a Tao essence, a powerful tool for the third step. At this step, a cultivator can use their insight into law to grasp and cultivate an essence. This is a necessary step to cultivate to the third step. With a completed essence, one can summon the Great Void Gate. However, if the practitioner has not reached 5th Heaven's Blight, they'll need to use force to open it. A cultivator's essence cultivation is itself directly related to their actual cultivation level. This level has 5 subcategories, which are: Early Nirvana Shatterer, where a cultivator would have mastered law. Middle Nirvana Shatterer, where a cultivator would have developed essence. Late Nirvana Shatterer, where a cultivator would have matured essence. Peak Nirvana Shatterer, where a cultivator would have completed essence. Heaven's Blight. The 5 Heaven's Blights are 5 brutal trials that allow the user to grow stronger if they survive. These 5 trials serve to unlock the Void Gate, allowing the user to reach the 3rd step. At the 5th Blight, a cultivator can use 3rd step spells regardless of if they've achieved a complete essence and reached the 3rd step proper, but it will consume their life force. It is a common practice for a Heaven's Blight cultivator to seal their cultivation at peak Nirvana Shatterer to conserve and store up life force and vitality. At the 2nd step, a cultivator can transform heaven and earth origin energy into life force. Therefore, they can theoretically live forever. The heavens won't allow this and will directly send punishment. There are 5 desolations or tribulations in this level. With each passing of desolation, the practitioner's power will increase. This is what came to be called the 5 Broken Fingers, and later the 5 Heaven's Blights. To a Broken Fingers era cultivator, the 1st step represents the palm, and the 2nd step represents the palm line. This line is natural law. The Broken Fingers then is the level which cultivators collect the fingers of the hand. After passing the 5th Blight, the hand will be complete, being able to open the door to the 3rd step. 5th Heaven's Blight cultivators can use 3rd step spells at the cost of their own vitality due to the Great Void Gate being open for them. This is the real reason they are boasted as being the strongest beneath the 3rd step. The Heaven's Blights are a series of 5 transitional trials that all Nirvana Shatterer cultivators have to face to reach to the 3rd step. Each successful passing means a massive boost of strength, but a failure means total death, hence, a void treasure plays a very important role to overcome these. This entire step can be skipped over if the practitioner has a method of forcefully opening the Great Void Gate. The 2nd step of cultivation include Nirvana Scryer, Nirvana Cleanser, and Nirvana Shatterer. All of them have the word Nirvana. Based on this, only by gaining complete understanding of Nirvana and mastering its laws can one finally reach the 3rd step. Pressure from a 3rd step cultivator's voice can crush Nirvana Shatterer cultivators. Just imagine the gap between their powers in this case. That's all I wanted to discuss as part of this video. Let me know in the comments if any questions or suggestions. Thank you for watching, and please subscribe and support for more videos.